Engage TNT Monster Truck Challenge here this afternoon at Fishersville, Virginia. Starting line now, David Morris getting ready to take his bye run. He was fast qualifier here this afternoon, and so he gets the bye run into the next round here at Fishersville. Then coming up next will be John Moore and No Problem up against Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger. Then we'll have Steve Wilkie and USA #1 up against Dave WIECZOREK and the Nightlife Chevrolet. Then John KWASNIEWSKI out of Buffalo, New York, up against the Clydesdale machine of Bennett Clark out of Georgia. Then we've got Bobby Breen in the Wild Hair up against Gary Wiggins, MOPAR Magic. The Jersey Outlaw, Mike Wine, up against Kid Rarig's Thunder Chicken Chevrolet machine. And, of course, Gary Porter and his Carolina Crusher up against John Breen and Mad Dog here this afternoon. Well, you may have looked at the brackets this afternoon and saw one of the better trucks missing here. That's Scott Stevens and King Crunch. What about it, Army?
Well, earlier this afternoon in the qualifying session, King Crunch lined up against Thunder Chicken. Now, keep in mind, the high-tuck King Crunch truck really has been laying down a law for a lot of people. This qualifying session proved to be the downfall. What happened was he came out, staged late, 1,500 horsepower GMC. Everything looked good, Butch. He punched the computer. He was ready to go for a run. But as you're going to see on the video, it was not to be the run he wanted to. He went into the lanes. Everything was looking good. The engine sounded good. The problem will come from the bottom of the truck. Let's see if we can see it. Thunder Chicken, meanwhile, having no problem, comes out with his run. This has been a good track for Thunder Chicken. Stevens goes on the trailer.
Looked like he had a good start out of the gate, Army.
Drive shaft went away on him. The problem, the weak link in that truck is the drive shaft, Butch.
I know. Many times I've seen him change as many as 2 and 3 over the weekend with King Crunch. So he's really had to get that driveline problem solved if he's going to be a threat in these points.
Well, he started the season like 18 events down. He is coming on. He's looking good. But speaking of looking good, one of the crowd favorites all over the country, it looks like the Gravedigger's going to the line. Who's he going to be going against, Butch?
He's up against John Moore out of Lafayette, Tennessee, and the No Problem Bronco as he rolls to the starting line. So it's Anderson up against Moore in the first round of competition here this afternoon.
Dennis Anderson awfully close to home, wants to lay down a good run. Now, last week he had some problems with the engine. No, 2 weeks in a row, do you believe it? Disqualified. The Gravedigger, No Problem, will advance.
Army, you know Dennis Anderson has just got to be so upset in front of his hometown fans. The truck goes away again.
What happened, Butch? He did not hit the second jump. Now, he's going to back up and hammer it. I guarantee he's going to give these people their dollar's worth. But it is a string of long events that have happened to the Gravedigger. Now, this is almost like the Gravedigger has been bitten by No Problem. John Moore has beat him before. Dennis Anderson's having trouble getting around him. They've been thrashing all year long trying to get the truck ironed out. Moore and his brother and the crew, they just can't seem to find out where that weak link is, Butch.
If it hasn't been the axles, it's been the engine. Back and forth problems week after week for Dennis Anderson.
But what's amazing is no matter what, this kid always has a smile on his face, always has time for the spectators, and they love him everywhere we go.
Let's go down to Army for the interview.
John, I tell you what, that's got to be very satisfying to you to put that guy away. You guys have been going after each other all year long.
I didn't even think I was supposed to get him this round, but it's yeah, I was ready for him. When they told me I had him, I was ready for him. We've been back and forth with each other, but I was ready for him this time.
He said Nashville's a fluke. You said nothing of doing. You just flat out and out beat him, and that's exactly what happened here today in Fishersville, isn't it?
That's exactly it. It's driving ability here, and I'm able to drive it.
I got a bad bounce coming off the cars, missed the cars, so I had to give it up and back up and, straighten my run out. But
why did you do that? A lot of people are going to ask us why. You were beat. You knew you were beat. But why did you go back and finish that run?
I do it for the crowd. They're here to see me launch that truck, drive it hard. And I knew I was going to be out and have to park it, so I'm going to give them something for the show.
6 seconds. All right, next pairing coming to the starting line. Here's Steve Wilkie out of Minnesota driving the USA #1 Chevrolet.
The defending national champion will be driven by the man who normally is the mechanic on it. He steps up to be the driver. He goes against Dave WIECZOREK out of Nebraska. A couple of bad boy Chevrolets going head-to-head in Fishersville, Butch.
Look at the intent look on Wilkie's face as he leaves the starting line. Here we go. USA 1, Nightlife, WIECZOREK with an edge. Now here comes Wilkie on the right side. It's going to be USA #1 in the next round.
Big
the substitute driver, Steve Wilkie. Now let's go down to Army with Steve Wilkie.
Steve, that has to be an awfully big relief to you to get that win under your belt.
The first one's always the toughest, Army. I'll tell you what, I got a little tire spin off the starting line, and I hooked good in second gear. I come out the first stack fairly straight this time. I was able to pedal it in high gear, and we took a win.
It looks like every time you sit in the seat of that truck, you're getting a little bit more control over it. That was a good straight run from this angle.
Well, the left lane that I ran in qualifying, it's got some pretty bad holes in that first stack, and it causes you to come off crooked, and you got to pedal it in the mid-range. That's why I moved over into the right lane for the first round.
You're still in this thing. We'll see you in that next round.
Yeah, we're going to do it again, Army. Thanks.
Thanks, Army. When we come back, still more first-round racing on the TNT Monster Truck Challenge, including the second-place truck in the championship points race, Gary Porter's Carolina Crusher. Stay tuned for more Monster Truck Racing. Welcome back to Fishersville, Virginia here on ESPN. I'm Butch Krieger along with my good friend Army Armstrong as we continue with first round action here this afternoon in Fishersville. And there's a young monster truck fan right there looking at the competition as we see John KWASNIEWSKI and the Buffalo Tremor coming to the starting line right now.
KWASNIEWSKI out of the northern country has really started to make a name for himself, and what he's doing as he comes to the line, he gets one of the strongest southern trucks on the tour. He's starting to rob horsepower from the engine. They came out, they thought this sport took buku horsepower. Not the way to go. It cost him a lot of races. They decided to dial the horsepower away. Since they've been doing that, they've really got a handle on it, Bush. So Clydesdale's going to have his hands full now that he's going into the lane against this New York Chevrolet.
Out of the gate they go, and they're on their way. Listen to those Chevrolets roars. They head towards the top end of the track.
Johnny K looking super strong. This kid's on the way. Keep your eye on the Buffalo Tremor. That truck is going to make a name for itself, Butch.
And let's go down with Johnny K and Army Armstrong.
John picked up word. You and USA won in the next round.
I beat USA 1 last week. I'm not really worried about it. I think I can get him again today.
You guys are driving the same way. Both of you are not really attacking the first set of cars. When you come over that first set, you get no man's land between the cars. You're literally pulling the triggers on these big motors, aren't you?
Well, with clay track, I think we're getting too much traction off the line and worried about breaking the transmission. So we're going to take a little bit easy off the line and just go all out at the end.
Back on the starting line we go, and here's Gary Wiggins and the MOPAR Magic Dodge machine. The only Dodge in competition here this weekend at Fishersville, Virginia.
Well, Butch, you've been involved in motorsports for a long time, just like I have. You know, everywhere we go, you've always got Dodge fans. MOPAR Magic is a truck they're going to be pulling for, but look who he goes into the lane next to, over from Missouri, one of the BREEN boys.
Bobby Breen and the wild-haired Chevrolet. Whoa, MOPAR Magic out of the gate a little bit early, Army.
What a hole shot. That may cost him. I don't know. We may have ground for disqualification. We're going to have to wait and see, but Wiggins comes loaded for bear to Fishersville.
I believe he left the starting line just too early. He took a chance. You know, that truck runs really strong on the top end. And yes, sirree, he is disqualified. I know it's got to be disappointing for Gary Wiggins out of North Carolina. Let's go to Army.
Gary Wiggins, you've been chasing these guys all year long. It looked like you turned your luck around. You're making a horsepower a good run. The word we get, though, disqualified. You left the start too quick.
Yeah, I reckon so. I've been sleeping on the line a little bit lately. I reckon I got too anxious then.
How about these guys? You've been chasing them all year long. You haven't put a win under your belt yet, but you've been there. You're going to be able to turn that around.
I hope so. Maybe next year. That's what we're hoping on.
All right, the next two pair coming to the starting line here in competition this afternoon in Fishersville, Virginia. It'll be Kid Raring and Thunder Chicken out of Pennsylvania.
Well, kind of an interesting story here as Kid Raring comes up. He's going to go head-to-head with the Jersey Outlaw. Raring, one of the most interesting people in the sport. The reason that he's so interesting is he builds these trucks and he sells them all over the world. He's going to keep this truck and share driver's shorts with a young lady, but right now he's got his hands full of Jersey Outlaw Ford and a young kid named Mike Wine. But
typical Ford Chevrolet showdown coming to the line right now. Chevrolet on the right side, the Ford on the left side. Let's see what happens now as we wait for the green light action here on the starting line. They're out of the gate, they're on their way.
Side by side, they both leave the starting line. Good clean start, half track, it's an even race.
And Kid Raring takes the win here this afternoon in Thunder Chicken as he puts the Ford of Mike White and the Jersey Outlaw on the trailer. Earlier today, we had some time to spend with Kid Raring and his unique crew. Army found out he is a unique individual in monster truck racing.
Now, kid, you've been involved in monster trucks for quite a few years, and your team consists of what, 2 trucks?
Yeah, 2 trucks, Walking Tall and the new truck we just put together, the Thunder Chicken. We have a 2-truck combination, Walking Tall and the Thunder Chicken now, and a 3-team driver. We have Karen Pencil driving, Jeff Zimmerman, and me driving myself right now.
What's it going to take to be competitive and win against the TNT trucks?
The right gearing, a lot of guts, a truck that stays together. We put this truck together went from a full-size body to a 400-pound body, figuring that sooner or later the trucks are going to have to be so light and so quick. That's what it's going to take to keep in this sport. We're still learning here in '89. It's going to take till the end of '89 till we have the right gearing. Right now I'm geared too high to be competitive with these guys. Equalizer I had last night in the first round, and he got me pretty good, and I can tell that he takes off quicker than me. So I just learn from other people, and that's about the way everybody does it.
All right, back on the starting line, 2 of the top running Chevrolets on the Renegades TNT Monster Truck Challenge. It will be John Breen and the Mad Dog up against Gary Porter's Carolina Crusher.
Porter, currently number 2 international points chase. A lot of pressure on him. The reason the pressure's there, look, right, the camera's telling you, no front drive shaft on the Carolina Crusher. Gonna run him with half the horsepower. This could be critical in the national point chase if Breen puts him away. Breen and the Mad Dog, look at this. Boy, he's jumping all over him right now. Johnny Breen is taking no prisoners, and Gary Porter is not giving up 1 iota. He gave it his best shot, but Breen goes to that next round, Butch.
Porter tried awfully hard, top end of the race course, to get the win with a real high jump. Now we go down to Army Armstrong with Gary Porter and Carolina Crusher.
Well, Gary Porter, we may have to change your nickname over to Showboat. That was something that put on a heck of a show, but it's an awfully dangerous situation out there. Can you explain exactly what happened?
It was when qualifying, I broke my front drive shaft, and I had everything to fix it, but the 2 U-bolts that hold the universal joint in, so I had to run with just 2-wheel drive.
National point chase. It's looking tough right now.
It is. The new motor, I was expecting, some breakage to find the weak points in it, and I hope I found them now, and I'll be out strong next time.
So David Morris and the Equalizer will lengthen their points lead over Gary Porter and the Carolina Crusher. When we return, it's quarterfinal round of racing on the TN Back to Fire tracks here on ESPN. I'm Butch Krieger along with Army Armstrong as we continue with quarterfinal action here this afternoon. It'll be John Moore up against the Equalizer of David Morris.
Well, Butch, the old classic Ford Chevrolet battle goes to the line. John Moore's already put one of the big Chevrolets away. He's the guy that puts the Gravedigger on the trailer. Look at this. He's giving Equalizer a good run. Morris has to really lean on that Chevrolet to take the win.
So it's a big win here for the Equalizer of David Morris, and he will advance to the next round here at Fishersville, Virginia. What a great win for the Equalizer as we get ready for our next 2 pairing on the starting line. It'll be the Buffalo Trimmer of John KWASNIEWSKI up against the USA #1 machine of Steve Wilkie. Wilkie, the mechanic here on this truck, has gone into the driver's role now, and Army Armstrong talked to him earlier about that.
Steve, pressure's nothing new to you. Being on this USA 1 team, you've been under a lot of pressure as a mechanic, but there's a new type of pressure, that being the pressure of driving this truck and stepping into the shoes of Litzow.
Well, Army, there is. I got some pretty big shoes to fill. Rod's the best in the country at what he does. I don't know, this week now I've left the mechanic chores up to Mark Gerard here, and I'm trying to concentrate on driving the truck and keeping it straight.
Let's go back and talk about that run last week.
Yeah, it's nothing I'm too proud of. I come out the first stack of cars and went to high gear and powered the truck, and she come around on me, and TNT rules, you have to hit the second stack of both front tires, and they claim I didn't, and that's all you can do. I feel that I hit the ramp. The truck launched straight and then made a move in the air. It's something that I can watch on videotape, and something I feel the officials should have looked at, but I'm not complaining about it, Army. It's why they call it a sport.
Back on the line, here we go now with the Buffalo Trimmer in lane #1, USA #1 and lane #2. Out of the gate they go, Army.
Buffalo Trimmer's on a roll. Keep an eye on that white Chevrolet. It is a close, looking super close. Butch, I can't call it from my angle. What did it look like to you?
I don't know. I thought it was Trimmer there at first, but you can't count the USA #1 out. The timers show it is Buffalo Tremor who takes the win here this afternoon over USA #1. Here's Army.
Well, Johnny K., you've done something a lot of guys want to do. You have bumped 2 of the top trucks in the country out of here today, the Crusher and now USA 1.
Well, that's what we've been trying to work the bugs out of the truck for the last couple of weeks, and I think we finally did it.
What was the major change when you came over to hump? Because the truck looks great, you're driving it great.
Oh, we did a little bit of suspension work in it. We changed some of the shocks on it, and we did a little bit of tuning to the motor, and I think we got the right combination right now.
Well, back on the starting line we go with the next pair, and it will be the wild hair Mr. Bobby Breen out of Jefferson City, Missouri, up against the Bennett Clark machine known as Clydesdale.
Talk about 2 interesting fellas. Bennett Clark, before he was a monster truck driver, rode Brahma Bull. Bobby Breen, before he was a monster truck driver, rode Harley Davidson motorcycles. This is about as American as you're going to get right here, bud.
Out of the gate we go. The pair of Chevrolets on their way, and Clydesdale's got the edge, Army.
Boy, Bennett Clark looking super strong. Look at this. That long wheelbase seems to really be working for him here in Fishersville.
So Bennett Clark and his newly built Chevrolet machine will continue on in competition here this afternoon at Fishersville, Virginia. A real fine run for Bennett Clark as we see Go-Go having a great time over there as we get ready for our next 2 trucks on the starting line. And looky here, Army Armstrong.
Looks like Go-Go's got one of the best seats in the house for what could be one of the best races of the afternoon. Kid Raring, Chevrolet. They call him the Thunder Chicken. He's going up against Missouri's own Mad Dog John Breen. It's a toss-up, Butch.
Out of the gate, we're on our way. Mad Dog with a little edge. Here's Thunder Chicken trying top in. I don't know, Army.
Mad Dog takes the win, Butch, in a super close race.
Mad Dog the winner, but he goes back to the pits real fast, Army. Wonder if he has a problem. Maybe he won't be able to come back. We'll try to find out. Well, let's go down to Army with Kid Raring right now.
Well, Kid, we've got kind of a unique situation here. You ran a good race. He did get the win on you, but the word we get, he lost oil pressure in that round. It looks like you might be coming back. Will you make any adjustments if you do come back?
Yeah, that happens. I'm going to refuel a little bit here and check all my belts, check all the nuts and bolts, and once in a while that'll happen where the loser will come back, and sometimes you can work your way right to the top.
When we come back, it's the semifinal and final rounds of the TNT Monster Truck Challenge. Will Mad Dog race? We'll find out. Welcome back to Fishersville, Virginia, here on ESPN. Army Armstrong, I'm excited about this next round, this first round of semifinal action. It's Equalizer against the Buffalo Tremor.
Well, Butch, if you like motorsports, you got a right to be excited. Keep an eye on this kid out of New York. They call him the Buffalo Tremor. Today, he is on a roll. Who does he have in this round? Your defending national points leader, Equalizer, trying to hold a kid from New York off. Tennessee and New York, let's watch it. He's got to get him on the end. He does it. Butch, do you believe it? He leaped past him in the air at the finish line. Buffalo Tremor going to the first final in his career.
It's an upset here this afternoon for Johnny K, and the timing camera shows it right there as KWASNIEWSKI and the Buffalo Tremor advance to the next round. And Army's now with both drivers.
David Morris, we've been talking all year long. All these old veterans are after you. They say this rookie this rookie that. There's only one other rookie on the circuit, and he just put you on the trailer.
Yeah, he did. I had to back out of the truck there between the cars. I really wasn't good and straight like I wanted to be, and I guess I just backed out of the motor too much, and then I couldn't come back on it.
John KWASNIEWSKI, a super day for you here in Fishersville. You're putting all the big guns away, and you're going to the final.
So far, it's been an excellent day. I can't complain. We've been working on this truck so hard for the last couple of months, and finally it's come true.
Have you won before on the tour this year?
No, I haven't.
This could be your first win.
I hope so.
Do you have any preferences to who you're going to go against in the final?
Well, it doesn't matter to me now. I put down the big trucks. I have no problems with whoever I race now.
And looking here on the starting line, the next 2 coming up, we see Bennett Clark sitting in Clydesdale. And look, Army Armstrong, it's Kid Raring and Thunder Chicken. Mad Dog could not make it back, so here's Kid Raring.
Raring comes back in with the Thunder Chicken. They're using the brake rule to get him this far. Can he make it to the final? If he wins it, he goes to the final. If not, he goes on the trailer.
What a story it would be. Looky here, he's going ahead now. Oh, Bennett Clark, and yes, sirree!
Thunder Chicken from out of nowhere. 2 new drivers going to the final. We're going to have a first winner of the year. It'll be the next race we see, the final of the afternoon.
So how about that? The Thunder Chicken and Kid Raring has been trying and trying here this afternoon, and now he has made it to the final round here today.
Butch, it amazes me. It reminds me of a rock and roll song. Do you believe in magic? Well, magic is what one of these drivers is going to put out. One of them will win for the first time in 1989. Will it be the Thunder Chicken or the Buffalo Trimmer Chevrolet side by side? Kid Raring against Johnny K. New York going against Pennsylvania. It's all narrowed down to this. This is what it's all about.
They're out of there and on their way. It's KWASNIEWSKI with the lead. Here comes Raring on the top end, but no, it's Buffalo Trimmer taking the win right there here this afternoon at Fishersville, Virginia. His first win on the Renegades TNT Monster Truck Challenge. Let's go to Army Armstrong.
Johnny, congratulations. You worked awfully long and awfully hard all year long to get this win.
Thank you very much. All I gotta say, I gotta thank everybody that's been helping me, all my sponsors, everybody. I just can't believe it.
You did a great job. You've really come a long way. We're glad to have you with us on the circuit. You joined an elite group of trucks that are winners on the TNT National Championship circuit. Congratulations. You earned it. You deserve it.
Thank you very much, Army. Thank you, everybody.
John KWASNIEWSKI and the Buffalo Trimmer get their first win on the TNT Monster Truck Challenge. Until next time, I'm Butch Krieger for Army Armstrong. Join us again for the Superstars